Hello, dear travelers. In today's video, we are going to explore 10 fascinating places in Italy that you must visit before embarking on your next journey. Get ready to fall in love with the monuments, natural beauties, and charms that only Italy can offer. Venice, famous for its winding canals, elegant gondolas, and the stunning Piazza San Marco. Venice is a unique city built on a network of over 100 small islands connected by bridges and surrounded by the waters of the Venetian lagoon. Upon arriving in Venice, the first thing that stands out is the absence of cars. Here, transportation is primarily by boat, and the streets are replaced by canals. The most famous of these is the Grand Canal, which snakes through the city in a large S-shaped curve. Lined with historic palaces and buildings dating back to the days of the Venetian Republic. Navigating the Grand Canal by gondola or vaporetto, public boat, is an essential experience for any visitor, offering a unique perspective of the city's architectural beauty. Piazza San Marco, the heart of Venice, is another must-see. Here you will find the impressive Doge's Palace, once the residence of the Doges of Venice, and the iconic Basilica of San Marco, with its mix of Byzantine and Gothic architectural styles. As well as its golden domes gleaming in the sun, the square is also a great place to relax, admire the surrounding buildings, and enjoy a coffee while watching the hustle and bustle of the city. On high tide days, the square sometimes becomes submerged, creating an even more surreal and photogenic scene. Venice is also famous for its gondolas, and a ride through its narrow and picturesque canals is a romantic and magical experience. Passing under charming bridges like the Rialto Bridge and the Bridge of Sighs, while enjoying the serenity of the waters and the beauty of the old buildings, makes visitors feel as if they are in a movie set. In addition to its famous landmarks, Venice is rich in art and culture. The Guggenheim Museum, located on the banks of the Grand Canal, houses an impressive collection of modern art, while the Venice Biennale attracts artists and visitors from all over the world. For opera and classical music lovers, the Teatro La Fenice is a cultural gem, offering performances in one of Europe's most historic and beautiful theaters. Venice is also famous for its carnival, one of the most renowned in the world. During this time, the city comes alive with people wearing elaborate masks and period costumes, celebrating a tradition dating back to the 17th century. Venetian masks are an iconic symbol of the city and can be found in local craft shops, made by artisans who keep this ancient tradition alive. Amalfi Coast. This is one of the most famous and spectacular coastal destinations in the world, known for its dramatic cliffs, colorful villages, and the sparkling turquoise sea that laps its shores. The Amalfi Coast offers a perfect combination of natural beauty, rich culture, and a charming atmosphere, making it one of Italy's most visited tourist spots. The coastal road that winds along the Amalfi Coast offers breathtaking views. On one side, steep mountains rise, while on the other, the sea stretches to the horizon, creating a fascinating contrast between the green of the vegetation and the deep blue of the waters. Small villages and towns are scattered along the slopes, their colorful houses descending toward the sea, forming a picturesque and charming scene. Among the most famous villages on the Amalfi Coast is Positano, with its pastel-colored houses stacked on the cliffs, creating a landscape that looks like a painting. Its narrow streets and slopes are filled with boutiques, charming cafes, and restaurants offering delicious Italian cuisine with panoramic views. Spiaggia Grande, Positano's main beach, is an ideal place to relax and admire the beauty of the coast while the sun shines over the crystal-clear sea. Another iconic town on the coast is Amalfi, which gave the region its name. Amalfi is a historic town with its winding streets and picturesque squares. The Duomo di Amalfi, an Arab Norman-style cathedral, is one of the city's main attractions, with its imposing facade and richly detailed interior. The town is also known for its production of limoncello, the famous lemon liqueur, which can be tasted in various establishments along the coast. The Amalfi Coast is also a paradise for hiking and trekking enthusiasts. The famous Path of the Gods, Sentiero degli Dei, offers a stunning hike in the heights with panoramic views of the entire coast and the distant sea. Along the way, travelers can enjoy landscapes that mix sea and mountains, with picturesque villages in the distance. For those seeking a quieter retreat, the town of Ravello, situated high in the hills, offers breathtaking views and an atmosphere of peace. Famous for its historic gardens, such as those of Villa Ruffolo and Villa Simbron, Ravello is an ideal destination for those seeking culture, music, and a more relaxing experience. The Amalfi Coast is also famous for its crystal clear waters, inviting boat trips through the hidden bays and coves. Renting a boat or joining a tour to explore the coast's caves and isolated beaches is an unmissable experience. One of the most famous stops is the Emerald Grotto, a marine cave where sunlight reflects off the waters, creating an impressive green glow. Colosseum. This magnificent amphitheater, a symbol of the grandeur of the Roman Empire, is a true architectural marvel and one of Italy's most famous landmarks. The Colosseum is the largest amphitheater ever built, and it continues to impress with its rich history and structural grandeur. Inaugurated in 80 AD by Emperor Titus, the Colosseum was the stage for great games and spectacles, including gladiator combats, wild animal hunts, and reenactments of mythical battles. These events, which could last for days, attracted thousands of spectators. The amphitheater could accommodate around 50,000 to 80,000 people. At the height of its glory, the Colosseum symbolized the power and wealth of Rome, as well as a way to entertain the population. The Colosseum's structure is a true masterpiece of Roman engineering. With its elliptical shape and limestone and brick walls, the amphitheater has several tiers of seating and a complex underground network of tunnels known as the Hypogeum, where gladiators and animals were kept before being brought into the arena. Today, visitors can explore these tunnels and imagine the hustle and bustle that occurred beneath the arena as gladiators awaited their turn to enter battle. One of the most impressive aspects of the Colosseum is the durability of its construction. Despite damage caused by earthquakes and centuries of wear, much of the original structure remains standing, and its grandeur is felt by all who approach this colossal monument. Walking around and inside the Colosseum is like taking a journey back in time, where each stone tells a story of bravery, entertainment, and power. The Colosseum is also a symbol of change over time. During the Middle Ages, it was repurposed in various ways, serving as a fortress, workshop, and even housing space. Later, the Colosseum was consecrated as a sacred site in memory of the Christian martyrs who were believed to have died there during Roman persecutions. Today, the Colosseum is also a place of reflection and respect, being an important landmark for Christianity. Beyond its historical and cultural grandeur, the Colosseum is one of the most visited destinations in the world, attracting millions of tourists every year. A guided tour of the monument allows visitors to explore its different layers and better understand how the Romans designed this amphitheater, so advanced for its time. Visitors can also climb to the highest level open to the public, offering a spectacular panoramic view of ancient Rome, including the Roman Forum and the Arch of Constantine, which stand next to the Colosseum. Vatican City. The Vatican, located in Rome, is the smallest independent state in the world in terms of both area and population. It is the official residence of the Pope and houses some of the greatest treasures of art and architecture in the world, including the magnificent St. Peter's Basilica and the famous Sistine Chapel. St. Peter's Basilica is the focal point of the Vatican and one of the holiest churches in Christianity. Built over the tomb of St. Peter, the first Pope Alcide, this immense basilica is a grand example of Renaissance and Baroque architecture. Upon entering, visitors are immediately struck by the vastness and beauty of the interior. The basilica's dome, designed by Michelangelo, is one of the largest in the world and offers a spectacular view of Rome for those who venture to climb to the top. Inside St. Peter's Basilica, visitors will find numerous masterpieces, including the famous Pietà, also sculpted by Michelangelo, which depicts the Virgin Mary holding the body of Christ after the crucifixion. The delicate beauty of this sculpture makes it one of the most admired works in the world. The interior of the basilica is adorned with frescoes, sculptures, and mosaics that celebrate the history of the Church and Christian faith. Another highlight of the Vatican is St. Peter's Square, a vast and impressive square designed by Gian Lorenzo Bernini. The square, with its curved colonnades, creates a sense of welcome and houses thousands of faithful during papal celebrations, such as the Pope's blessing on Sundays, and major religious events like Easter and Christmas. Perhaps the most famous jewel of the Vatican is the Sistine Chapel, located within the Vatican Museums. The Sistine Chapel is world-renowned for Michelangelo's incredible frescoes that cover the ceiling and the altar wall. The ceiling, painted between 1508 and 1512, depicts biblical scenes, with the most famous being the creation of Adam, where God reaches out to touch Adam's hand, creating one of the most iconic moments in the history of art. The altar wall is dominated by Michelangelo's awe-inspiring fresco, The Last Judgment, which portrays the second coming of Christ and the final fate of souls. The Sistine Chapel is also where the papal conclave takes place, the ceremony in which cardinals gather to elect the new pope. Being inside the Sistine Chapel is an immersion into centuries of history and art. In a space that combines one of humanity's greatest artistic creations with profound spiritual significance. In addition to the Sistine Chapel, the Vatican Museums house a vast collection of art and antiquities gathered by the popes over the centuries, from ancient Greek and Roman sculptures to Renaissance and Baroque art. The museums are a true treasure trove for art and history lovers. Among the highlights are the Raphael rooms, decorated by the Renaissance artist Raphael, and the Gallery of Maps, which displays a series of detailed maps of Italy's regions. Pompeii. This ancient Roman city was destroyed and buried in 79 AD by the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius, which covered the city in volcanic ash, preserving it almost intact for centuries. Today, Pompeii is one of the most important archaeological sites in the world, offering a unique window into the daily life of ancient Romans. Walking through the streets of Pompeii is like stepping back in time. The city was buried under a thick layer of ash and pumice, which helped preserve its structures, streets, artifacts, and even the bodies of its inhabitants, capturing a tragic moment in Roman history. Thanks to archaeological excavations that began in the 18th century, visitors can explore ruins that offer an unprecedented insight into how the ancient Romans lived. Among the highlights of Pompeii are its stone-paved streets, with raised sidewalks and pedestrian crossings, which demonstrate the city's urban sophistication. The Roman houses, known as domus, range from simple dwellings to elaborate aristocratic villas, many of them with well-preserved frescoes that decorate their interior walls. Some of the most impressive examples include the House of the Veti, famous for its detailed frescoes and refined architecture, and the House of the Faun, one of the largest and most luxurious residences in Pompeii, with beautiful mosaics. One of the most poignant aspects of Pompeii is the plaster casts made from the spaces left by the bodies of inhabitants who were buried by the ash. These casts reveal the final moments of many residents, preserved in their last positions as they tried to escape the eruption. Seeing these casts is a moving experience, bringing to light the human dimension of this historical tragedy. Another highlight is Pompeii's Forum, the heart of the city's public life, where citizens gathered for political discussions, religious ceremonies, and commerce. Around the Forum, there are important administrative and religious buildings, such as the Temple of Apollo and the Temple of Jupiter, which still retain parts of their columns and sculptures. The grandeur of the Forum and its location at the foot of Vesuvius remind visitors of the centrality of public life in Pompeii before the catastrophe. The amphitheater of Pompeii is another marvel of the city. Built in 70 BCE, it is one of the oldest Roman amphitheaters in the world and was used for gladiator combats and other public spectacles. Its impressive preservation allows visitors to sit in the stands and imagine what those events must have been like more, drawing crowds from all over the region. In addition to its houses and public buildings, Pompeii offers a rich insight into the cultural and religious life of the Romans. The public baths, like the Stabian baths, show how the Romans valued leisure and personal hygiene. The taverns, bakeries, and shops still preserve their stone counters and ovens, and you can walk through the streets and see how the Romans did their shopping and meals. In the background of all this, Mount Vesuvius still looms, reminding visitors of the destructive force that once wiped Pompeii off the face of the earth. For those seeking a complete experience, it is possible to hike to the crater of Vesuvius and have a panoramic view of Naples, the Bay East, and the ancient city of Pompeii below. Trevi Fountain located in the heart of Italy's capital. The Trevi Fountain attracts millions of visitors every year, not only for its grandeur, but also for the tradition of tossing a coin into the water to ensure a return to Rome. Built in 1762, the Trevi Fountain was designed by architect Nicola Salvi and is a magnificent example of Baroque architecture and with its sculptures and ornate details. The fountain marks the endpoint of an ancient Roman aqueduct, is the Aqua Virgo, which provided water to the city since 19 BCs. The fountain structure is impressive. A large facade adorned with dramatic sculptures and water jets that cascade into a wide stone pool, creating both a visual and auditory spectacle. In the center of the fountain stands the imposing figure of Neptune, the Roman god of the sea, being led in his chariot, pulled by tritons and seahorses. This scene symbolizes the mastery of the forces of water and nature, representing Rome's power over the elements. On either side of Neptune, there are two statues representing abundance and health, complementing the theme of life flowing through water. The tradition of throwing a coin into the Trevi Fountain is known worldwide. According to legend, tossing a coin with your right hand over your left shoulder while facing away from the fountain guarantees your return to Rome in the future. It is estimated that around 3,000 euros in coins are thrown into the fountain every day. This money is regularly collected and donated to charity, funding programs that assist those in need in the city. Besides being a place of stunning beauty, the Trevi Fountain has been the setting for various films and is an icon of popular culture. One of the most famous scenes was immortalized in Federico Fellini's classic film La Dolce Vita, where actress Anita Ekberg takes an unforgettable nighttime dip in the fountain's waters. This moment cemented the Trevi Fountain as a symbol of romance, glamour, and history. Visiting the Trevi Fountain during the day is a fascinating experience, but it's at night, when the fountain is illuminated, that its beauty truly stands out. The soft lighting transforms the scene into a magical spectacle, with the waters shimmering and the sculptures glowing. No matter the time of day, the Trevi Fountain always captivates with its enchanting atmosphere. In addition to admiring the fountain, the area around it offers numerous options for those wanting to enjoy the true Dolce Vita of Rome. Visitors can stroll through the narrow streets filled with cafes, restaurants, and traditional gelaterias, savoring authentic Italian gelato, or a glass of wine while soaking in the vibrant and historic atmosphere of Rome. Cinque Terre. This group of 5 colorful villages, perched on dramatic cliffs, offering spectacular views of the Ligurian Sea, is one of the most visited and photographed places in the country. With its vibrant houses, panoramic trails, and untouched natural beauty, Cinque Terre is a true paradise for nature lovers, hikers, and those seeking breathtaking scenery. The 5 villages that make up Cinque Terre are Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Riomaggiore. Each of these villages has its own personality and charm, but they all share the same stunning beauty of being perched on cliffs with privileged views of the sea. Monterosso al Mare is the largest of the villages and is famous for its sandy beaches and crystal clear waters, making it the most beachy of the 5. In addition to the beaches, Monterosso is also home to beautiful historical buildings, such as the Church of St. John the Baptist and the Capuchin Convent, which offers panoramic views of the village and the sea. Vernazza is often considered the most beautiful village in Cinque Terre, with its small natural harbor, where colorful fishing boats float in the waters, and its pastel-toned houses climbing up the hills. Vernazza is the essence of an Italian coastal village. The Belfort Tower, an old fortification, offers incredible views of the sea and the surrounding mountains. Corniglia is the only village of the 5 that is not directly by the sea, being built high on a cliff. From Corniglia, visitors can enjoy spectacular views of the other villages and the ocean below. To reach the village, you need to climb a long staircase called the Larderina, which offers impressive views as you ascend. Manarola is one of the most photographed villages, especially at sunset, when the soft light highlights the colors of the houses perched on the cliffs. Manarola is known for its wine production, and the vineyards surrounding the village create a breathtaking landscape. Walking through Manarola's alleys and enjoying a glass of Sciacca, the local sweet wine, sec, is an unforgettable experience. Riomaggiore, the southernmost village, serves as the gateway to Cinque Terre. Its colorful houses seem to stack up on the hills, and the small harbor is surrounded by steep cliffs. The village is an excellent starting point for exploring the panoramic trails that connect the villages of Cinque Terre. One of the most famous trails is the Via dell'Amore, Path of Love, which links Riomaggiore to Manarola and offers breathtaking views of the sea and cliffs. The scenic trails are one of Cinque Terre's main attractions. These trails wind through the mountains and offer spectacular views of the villages, vineyards, and sea. The most famous of these is the Sentiero Azzurro, Blue Trail, which connects the 5 villages and allows visitors to explore the region on foot, crossing olive groves and terraced vineyards and pine forests. Along the way, travelers can stop at viewpoints and appreciate the panoramic vistas that make Cinque Terre such a special destination. In addition to its natural and architectural beauty, Cinque Terre is also famous for its cuisine. Local dishes are based on fresh seafood and produce grown in the terraces surrounding the villages. One of the most typical dishes is trofi al pesto, a traditional Ligurian pasta made with the famous pesto sauce, made of basil, garlic, olive oil, cheese, and pine nuts. The local wine, like Sciacca, perfectly complements any meal in the region. Leaning Tower of Pisa. This Leaning Tower is one of Italy's most recognized icons and is part of the Piazza dei Miracoli, Square of Miracles, one of the most important and impressive architectural complexes in the country. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is actually the bell tower of Pisa's cathedral and was built between the 12th and 14th centuries. What made it world famous, however, was the fact that it began to lean shortly after construction began due to the unstable soil on which it was built. The tower is made of white marble and stands about 56 meters tall, with its characteristic tilt currently reaching about 4 degrees. The tower's tilt is the result of a failure in the clay soil, which could not support the weight of the structure. Over the centuries, numerous efforts have been made to stabilize the structure and prevent it from completely collapsing. Interestingly, this accidental tilt became the main reason why the Leaning Tower of Pisa is so famous and attractive to tourists from around the world. Visitors can climb the 294 spiral steps to the top of the tower, where they are rewarded with panoramic views of the city of Pisa and the surrounding Tuscan countryside. Climbing the tower is a unique experience, as you can actually feel the tilt as you make your way up the marble staircase to the bell chamber. Once at the top, the view of Piazza dei Miracoli is breathtaking, with its other historic monuments spread out below. Piazza dei Miracoli is itself a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is home to other notable buildings besides the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Duomo di Pisa, Pisa Cathedral, a magnificent Romanesque cathedral, is the centerpiece of the complex and was consecrated in 1118. Its white and gray marble facade is richly decorated, and its interior houses beautiful works of art, including a pulpit sculpted by the renowned artist Giovanni Pisano. Next to the cathedral is the Baptistry of St. John, another impressive monument in white marble, which is the largest baptistry in Italy. The baptistry is known for its extraordinary acoustics, and visitors can even experience the echo that reverberates through the building's walls. The piazza also houses the Camposanto Monumental, NAC-D, a historic cemetery with impressive frescoes and ancient tombs, where it is believed that soil was brought directly from the Holy Land during the Crusades. The Leaning Tower of Pisa has become a must-stop for tourists visiting Italy. In addition to its unique tilt and architectural beauty, the tower is also a place where visitors from all over the world partake in the fun tradition of taking photos, holding up, or pushing down the tower, creating humorous illustrations of the famous lean. Lake Como. This lake is widely considered one of the most beautiful in Italy and the world, famous for its crystal clear waters, towering mountains, picturesque villages, and luxurious gardens surrounding it. Lake Como has long been a refuge of tranquility and beauty for travelers and celebrities, as well as a destination rich in history and elegance. Lake Como has a characteristic inverted Y shape, with its waters bathing various towns and villages along its shores, each with its own unique charm. The mountains surrounding the lake offer spectacular panoramic views, creating a wonderful contrast with the blue waters. The area is famous for its mild climate and lush landscapes, making it a popular destination both for tourism and luxury residences. One of the most iconic and visited villages on the lake is Bellagio, often called the Pearl of Lake Como. Bellagio is located at the point where the lake's arms meet, offering stunning views in all directions. Its narrow cobbled streets, charming boutiques, and lakeside restaurants make Bellagio a romantic and unforgettable destination. Additionally, Villa Melzi and its botanical gardens are a must-see attraction. With its neoclassical architecture and lush landscapes, another charming village is Varenna, known for its tranquil charm and welcoming atmosphere. Varenna is famous for its colorful houses lining the lake and its picturesque trails, such as the Passeggiata degli Innamorati, Lover's Walk, which winds along the coast, offering incredible views and peaceful moments. The gardens of Villa Monastero, a former monastery converted into a noble residence, are another highlight, offering breathtaking views of the lake and a serene atmosphere. Lake Como Como, the town that gives the lake its name, is another must-see. Como combines the charm of a historic town with the natural beauty of the lake. Its historic center is home to the impressive Como Cathedral, one of the finest examples of Gothic architecture in Italy, and the Tempio Voltiano, dedicated to the famous inventor Alessandro Volta, who was born in the town. Additionally, a boat ride along the shores of the lake offers spectacular views of the villas and gardens that dot the landscape. Lake Como is also known for its historic villas and lush gardens, many of which are open to the public. Villa Carlotta, located in Tremezzo, is one of the most famous examples. Built in the 17th century, the villa is surrounded by botanical gardens filled with exotic plants, sculptures, and terraces with panoramic views of the lake. Another highlight is Villa del Balbianello, famous for its appearances in films like Star Wars, Episode II, and EOSO 7, Casino Royale. Situated on a peninsula overlooking the lake, the villa is a perfect place to explore the natural and architectural beauty of the region. In addition to the villas, visitors can enjoy outdoor activities such as boat tours, kayaking, hiking in the surrounding mountains, and even cycling along the lake's trails. The funicular from Como to Brunete is one of the most exciting attractions, taking visitors to a higher altitude for spectacular panoramic views of the lake and the Alpine Mountains. Val d'Orcia. Famous for its rolling hills, golden wheat fields, and rows of cypress trees winding along the roads, the Val d'Orcia offers breathtaking views of the Tuscan countryside. Immortalized in Renaissance paintings and modern photography, declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Val d'Orcia is a perfect example of how nature and human intervention can create a harmonious and visually impactful landscape. The gentle hills that stretch as far as the eye can see, with medieval villages on hilltops and stone farms dotting the horizon, make this region one of the most photographed and cherished in Italy. The Val d'Orcia is also the birthplace of some of Tuscany's most charming historic towns, each offering a unique combination of culture, history, and beauty. Among them is Pienza, a small Renaissance gem that was designed as an ideal city by Pope Pius II in the 15th century. The streets of Pienza are enchanting, with panoramic views of the surrounding fields and many well-preserved Renaissance buildings. The town is also famous for its pecorino, a delicious sheep's milk cheese that can be sampled in several local shops and markets. Another must-visit destination in the Val d'Orcia is the medieval village of Montalcino, world-renowned for producing the prestigious Brunello di Montalcino wine. The fortress of Montalcino offers incredible views of the surrounding landscape, while its cellars and wineries invite visitors to sample the local wines. The region is perfect for wine lovers who can explore vineyards, learn about wine production, and, of course, savor some of Italy's finest wines. The Val d'Orcia is also home to San Quirico d'Orcia, an ancient town surrounded by walls and famous for its Renaissance gardens. The Horti Leonini, a stunning example of Italian gardening. Walking through the streets of San Quirico is like taking a step back in time, with its medieval churches, picturesque squares, and an atmosphere that exudes tranquility. The landscape of the Val d'Orcia is dominated by wheat fields, or vineyards, and olive groves, which change color throughout the year, creating a tapestry of golden, green, and earthy tones. The famous roads lined with cypress trees that wind through the hills are one of Tuscany's most well-known postcards, often seen in films like Gladiator, and in photographs that capture the region's bucolic essence. One of the best ways to explore the Val d'Orcia is by car, following the roads that cross rolling hills and passing through small villages and farms. Every turn reveals a new breathtaking panoramic view, and there are many places along the way to stop, relax, and admire the beauty of the landscape. Moreover, the region is full of hiking trails and cycling routes, offering an even more immersive experience of Tuscany's nature. For those seeking relaxation, the Val d'Orcia is also famous for its natural hot springs. Bagno Vignoni, for example, is a small thermal village where a large thermal pool occupies the central square, something rarely seen. These thermal waters have been used since Roman times, and visitors can enjoy a relaxing dip in the therapeutic waters at modern spas or natural pools in the surrounding area. And so, dear travelers, we come to the end of yet another journey through some of the most stunning landscapes in Italy. From the rolling hills of Val d'Orcia to the crystal clear waters of Lake Como, Italy continues to surprise us with its infinite beauty and rich history. Which of these incredible destinations inspired your travel desires the most? Leave your comment, share your thoughts, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming adventures.